Welcome to 2024. So this will be the first video of 24. And as you can see, I got both YJs in the garage. I know I need to be working on this one. And some changes are already happening. And it's going to be good. I'm excited to get where this thing is heading. But this video is going to be more focused on this Jeep. You saw in the last video, we took it wheeling, broke some stuff, that light, rear tail light, some other things. But I want to do some upgrades for it because we're going to have some late winter, early spring wheeling trips, which this obviously won't be done for. So do some things to this, get this ready, and hopefully later this year, I'll be taking this to Trail Hero. This one will not be done, unfortunately, but hope you guys had a great holiday season. Over Christmas, when Santa came, he popped in the garage here and left a couple boxes that I haven't opened yet. I have these 3 packages. Honestly, I don't know what's in them. So we're gonna start this video off by checking out what's in this. I have a hint it's Jeep parts. Let's see what we got here. These are some rock lights. All right, so awesome. And looks like an 8-gang switch panel from Auxbeam. And yes, I want to thank Auxbeam because they did send this. They are sponsoring this video, and I appreciate them. I'm excited to try the products. There's a lot of people out there that run Auxbeam. Sam, he has a partnership with Auxbeam as well, and they kindly reached out to me, and I'm going to give them a shot. Not going to sugarcoat anything just because they sent this to me, but full transparency, I did not pay for any of these products. They did send them to me, and we're going to get into this video about installing the switch panel and these rock lights, and I don't know what this is. They sent me an Auxbeam shirt, so that's cool. I'm pretty excited for this thing because these switch panels are sweet. They're solid state. You can do a lot with them, and right now, currently, I have those 2 pod lights and that light bar, which I'm not a big light bar fan. The Jeep just came with them. But currently they are run off this switch that just sits here, and it's constantly has power where I can wire this switch panel to then, you know, be ignition power or whatever. Honestly, I have my seats for this that are just collecting dust in the corner. I might put them in here, which they have heated seat options, so I can run the heated seats off that. I could run my starter off this. I was thinking about doing an e-locker in the rear, but it's kind of expensive, so I might just weld the rear. But regardless, rock lights, heated seats, ignition. You can do so much with these controllers. So if I like their products, I may run the Auxbeam one for that YJ instead of the Switch Pros. We'll see. Like I said, I'm going to be honest with this review, so if there's something about it I don't like, I will tell you guys. All right, back out in the garage. So last night, when I left you guys, I decided to pull the light bar and the pod lights off because with this Auxbeam setup, I'm going to just start fresh with like new lighting. And again, like I said earlier, I'm not a big light bar fan, and I want to utilize maybe lights in a different area. Let's get started with installing the switch panel. And with that, we have to locate where we want to put our control box and our panel itself. So we're gonna get started with that, get them mounted, and then we'll work on wiring. Don't need that. The best location is gonna be somewhere in here, near the factory fuse box and near the battery. So thinking we're gonna figure out a mounting system somewhere right here. Knowing that I wanted to put the control box here-ish, there was 2 existing bolts. So I pulled the one bolt out, and then the bracket, don't mind the singe part, but the bracket that they supplied here, and then my crude modification, which will now allow it to bolt into that existing hole and then wrap down and bolt into the hole I just put right there. So the bracket will be supported front and back, and then kind of contour to the inner fender. Next, we have to mount the switch panel, which there was a CB radio here. I yanked it out because it wasn't even hooked up, and there's no radio in this Jeep at all. So I'm gonna make a plate, put it here, and then just mount the switch panel there for now. And then maybe I'll figure out a better solution later, but it'll work out nicely because it's empty space, and there's already an existing hole in the firewall. I don't know if that was drilled by somebody else, but I can run the connector cable from the control box in to the switch panel, all nice and neat under there. So, all right, let's get the switch panel mounted. I took care of some of the pesky wire routing off camera, that way I didn't bore you guys with that. So where we're looking right now is we have the leads back on the battery. Like I said, it's now actually clamped down solid, unlike before. So we have the short wire going up to the fuse block to the long wire comes around to the base. Then we have our negative, which goes down, and I have it coming up here. And then we have our ignition power wire, and then our main controller wire. We'll have them routed up through an existing hole that was in the firewall, and I put a grommet. And then coming out, now I have the wire to hook to the controller here. And then you can see dangling way over there, I had to route that wire for the ignition power because, to my knowledge and from my research, this fuse box up in the engine bay does not have an ignition power fuse. Everything in there is constant hot, so I can't tap into anywhere there. So I had to wire in an extension wire that I routed all the way through. And then now we have our, I don't even know what these are called. That goes up into the cabin fuse box. And now that will hook to one of the fuses that has an ignition power, which will then, when the ignition's on, is what sends the power to the control box itself. If you were to put that on a constant power fuse, the switch panel would have constant power and always be on, drain the battery. So you have to have that wired to an ignition power fuse. Just have to tidy up the wires going under, get that into the fuse blocks. We should be able to get some power to our panel. So let's go plug in some fuses and key it on, see what happens. And then this spot right here is our ACC. That's our ignition power. And we're going to stick this into there. Then we should be able to key it on. Oh, we have power. So there we are. Our panel has power. Everything is wired up properly. So now, time just to clean her up here. So I'm not going to bore you guys with that, but I'm going to get all these wires cleaned up. Then I'll get back and then we'll continue on with this install. All right. Zip tied. I'm actually pretty happy with how clean that came out. So nice and neat, all tucked in. No wires dangling under. And then our switch panel itself is here. And we have power to it. So what we're going to do to wrap up this video and show you guys how the switch panel works, we're going to hook some rock lights to it. But it's going to take me a minute to get everything wired. So what I'm going to do first is just kind of show you guys the basics. And then I'll go through and mount all the rock lights and tidy it up and show you guys at the end. But yeah, let's get this wired so I can show you how it works. What I forgot to mention is with each rock light, they provide hardware and 2 different isolator pads, a flat pad for a flat surface or a like concaved pad to go around tube. So yeah, I got to figure out, and then it's relieved for the wire, so that's cool. Again, what makes these switch panels so freaking awesome is just how easy it is to hook stuff to it. Take the cover off. You have all your buttons labeled, so 1 through 4, 5 through 8. I'm going to do my rock lights on number 5. So again, it's pretty freaking simple because it's all color coded and easy to figure out. You have a negative post and a positive post. All right, that easy. Small Phillips head screwdriver, clamp them down into the post, and that's all it takes to hook up anything to this control box. The switch panel, the rock lights, they have these nice quick connects, so that way you don't have to really splice everything. So again, the control panel or control module for the rock lights has 12 leads, so I'm just going to pick a random one here. Power on to our switch panel. I have it wired to spot number 5 here. And if I hit this, yep, there it is. So we have power to our rock lights. It is that simple to hook it up. And then I think the rock lights have an app too. You can go through and change all the colors, pick whatever color you want. So I'm going to look into that and start figuring out the location of these rock lights. Then once we're all mounted, I'll show you guys the finished results. All right, stand by. As you guys probably saw through all that time lapse, I made a custom bracket for the controller for the rock lights, so a bracket off a bracket, and I don't hate it. I think that actually mounts nicely there. All the wires are tucked down. I have pretty much this lead for all the rock lights on the passenger side, and then this lead is all the rock lights on the driver's side. So real quick, the front, I have rock light there and up there. Those two I just zip tied, and because I didn't want to drill into the frame yet. I gotta figure that out, but I think the zip ties will hold for now. The rock lights are mirrored, so I'm not gonna show you guys both sides. Just go down the passenger side, it's the same on the driver. So moving to the next one, we have it tucked up here in the top of the fender. So moving down, the next one is up here, right by the front body mount. Moving over, we have one there. That one is zip tied also because I don't know quite how I want to mount that for sure, but moving back, I got one mounted right here in front of the rear tire. And then finally one up there, right there in the rear wheel well. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, one on the front, and then going back, 6 plus 6 equals 12. So all 12 rock lights are mounted, and I have yet to turn them all on. I did a test with a couple, but I haven't turned them on since I got them all plugged in and the wires tucked and neat and run. So you guys will get to see it with me. Let me set you guys up, turn all these lights off, and see how she looks. Lights off. Yeah, I didn't think this through. Moment of truth. All right. Well, plus side is they all turned on, so that's awesome. Here you guys. So up in the front here, looks good. Wheel well coming down the sides and into the rear wheel well. So these are RGB, red, green, blue LEDs. There's not a singular white LED, so you will never get a pure white light with these rock lights. I think Auxbeam offers a model or a rock light that is white only or does have a white LED in their RGBs. So if you don't like the off-white color, definitely make sure you consider that. But overall, I have some light, which is good. This will be really good at night, so I can at least see some rocks around the tires. First sticker officially on. 7 more to figure out. Beep, boop. I'm pretty darn happy with that install. It was easy. It was super easy. So thank you, Auxbeam, for sending me the switch panel and the rock lights. Both of them have a mobile app to adjust the colors, settings, a bunch of stuff like that. I want to get the Jeep pulled outside in the dark so we can see it and check it out in its glory. And then I can go over some of the other features. But with that, thank you guys for sticking along so far, and we'll see you outside. Well, the sun is slowly setting, and we're gonna wait till it gets dark before we pop these rock lights on so you guys can see how they look outside in the dark. But just want to say thank you for watching, thank you for sticking along to the end of the video, and a special thanks to Auxbeam, because without them, this video would not be possible. So go ahead, check out the link below to their website, peruse all their products, let them know I sent you. The switch panel is going to let me hook up a bunch of other things. The rock lights are going to be great for night wheeling. Unfortunately, here on the East Coast in Pennsylvania, none of the parks are open in the night, so we don't do much night wheeling here, but it's going to really help out later this year at Trail Hero. It's going to keep me safer, let me see what I'm doing, and actually let me enjoy some night wheeling. So we'll catch you in the next video. Getting this back in the garage right after this to prep for the next project. We'll just give you a hint, it's for more traction. So thank you guys, have a good night, enjoy the light show.